Hello everyone, welcome to Rockstar Gaming. My name is Eric. Today we're going to be continuing our adventure in Gloomhaven, Buttons and Bugs from Cephalofair Games, continuing on from the previous two episodes in this campaign. If you missed them, we do have them in a playlist on the channel, and if you want to know when the next ones are coming out, go ahead and hit that notification bell down below. Also make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to help us make sure to grow the channel. Also, as I have said, my experience with Gloomhaven itself is very limited, so if you do see anything throughout the course of the game that I may have missed, go ahead and comment down below with that, so that way I can continue to learn as well. There's a couple things I did have questions on myself that I have spent all day researching and whatnot, but there are still some things about this game specifically that are not necessarily like on forums and stuff like that, because the game has only been out for a couple weeks. So with that said, let's go ahead and start getting up some housekeeping stuff and do a little bit of what the scenario is going to be about today. As far as the housekeeping aspect, first of all, we are going to be doing level 2 today. So we did level up essentially in the last episode. We are, the scenario at least that we're playing today is a level 2 scenario. So looking at the Bruiser's card here, we are going to be up to 13 health, which is represented on the dial right here. We do have access to weapons as we did in the last episode, but I think I didn't even use the weapons in the last episode. With that said, we did switch some stuff around. I'm going to be using the Rose Thorn knife this time, so that way I can try to get some piercing once I flip over my card that does have the earth element on there, so we can make sure to have a pierce ability when I don't have an actual ability of mine that does pierce. We're also going to stick with the bottle cap helm, which during an enemy's attack treat its plus attack modifier as a neutral attack modifier. So those are going to be the weapons that we are going to be using during this game play. With that said, let's go ahead and what else do we need to do for housekeeping? A couple different things we need to do for housekeeping. One, we did get to level 2, so instead of the standard modifier board we have down below, we are going to be using this level 2 modifier board right here that is specifically for the Bruiser. You can see that in the center area there we do have some pierce effects that we are going to be given, as well as a strengthen ability over there on the negative side of the card that will couple well with what is my ability. That's a B-side card right there. I don't know why that's flipped over. Actually, I'll tell you why that's flipped over in just a minute. Warding Strength is the one that already gives me the strengthen ability, so this will be another way of getting strengthened if I happen to roll that. That is going to go right there. And next we are going to take a look at the bottom of scenario 2. We're not playing scenario 2, we've already played through scenario 2, but we're going to go look at the bottom of scenario 2 as far as the story goes. The bottom of scenario 2, after we had beaten the scenario already, says, standing on the other side of the street before the towering, grumbling Garalev, the collector clears their throat. Honestly, it's probably best to avoid Button entirely. Very eccentric. I recommend sneaking in through a crack in the wall. Now, the story so far is that we were going to the Crooked Bone, and we were going to go see Hale. Upon arriving, we shrank down to our diminutive size and got attacked by a couple bandits. Met the collector. They said that they would help us with weapons and gears if we took them along with us. They suggested going through Button's kingdom, and then we got attacked by more bandits, and they're now saying that it's probably best to avoid Button entirely. So there is that. So that's where we left things off. Now, we are playing as the Bruiser. If we were playing any other character, we would not be the Bruiser right now, or we would not be going to scenario 4 right now, we'd be going into scenario 3 right now. That's why the thumbnail, when you clicked on this video, says part 3, and then scenario 4 below that. That's why I did decide to do that differentiation, so people didn't think I was missing a scenario somewhere that weren't familiar with how the game is played. I believe each of the 6 classes does have a scenario specific to them that basically skips another scenario in order to play a class-specific scenario. Again, we've been playing as the Bruiser, so we are not going to, like I said, so we're skipping scenario 3 because scenario 3 is being basically any other class can play scenario 3. However, I would like to play scenario 3 and show that as like a special one-off video before we get too far away from this section of the game or of the story. So if you guys want to comment down below with what class I should go ahead and do scenario 3 in, that would be greatly appreciated. With that said, we're going to place that over there. Scenario 4, Barging In, is what we are going to be doing. So let's go ahead and read that one. The idea of sneaking anywhere just makes you angry. And when you're angry, you just want to bust some heads. You decide the collector's offer, or you decline the collector's offer in favor of a more direct approach. You march right toward the guards at the door, weapon in hand. So this is going to be our map right here. We do have an archer down below here. Right in here, it's a little bit hard to see on my camera, and I apologize that the top camera is still trash. So hoping to get that replaced at some point in the near future. But as I said, I got some obstacles right here to jump over to get to that archer right there, and then we do have another archer here. Regular guards here and here, and then these two red spots are going to be hazards that the hazards do immobilize and do 1 damage. So that is what we're going to be doing there. So we're going to place that there. We're going to go ahead and place our cubes where they go, and let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and take me and put me right there. Everything else is where it should be. The other thing of housekeeping, I almost forgot this, and I'm going to tell you why I almost forgot some of these things in a minute. But one of the things I have here, all my cards right here are all for level 1. When we moved up to level 2, we did right here, we do get to take one of our level 1 cards and replace it with a level 2 card. So one of the cards I am going to be taking away is the Leaping Cleave, and I'm going to be substituting that for Trample. So Trample is going to be my new level 2 card in the game. It's going to give me, we're going to take a look at it right here so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about a little bit. So this is the difference in the cards right here. Trample on the left, Leaping Cleave, the old card on the right. Trample is going to have 1 more extra space that is going to be affected by its main attack on the top. It's also going to give Pierce 2 and do 1 extra damage. On the bottom of the card, it does a 4 movement jump instead of a 3 movement jump, but then the Trample also is going to give a 2 attack to all enemies moved through with this move ability. So there is that. And then on the other side, and then both cards would have given me an air element as well. The other side of this, Eye for an Eye is the old card, and Wall of Doom is the new card that we're getting. We're still going to have the Earth element, which is going to work well with our Rose Thorn Knife. But Retaliate on the top is going to get 2 instead of 1, and on the bottom, instead of a 2 self-heal, we're going to get a 3 self-heal with being able to add 2 to all of our attacks this round. So that is one of the reasons why I'm going to be taking Trample. Trample is a pretty good card. Trample is a pretty good card, and I know this because I, behind the scenes, have already played through this scenario. I just finished. The runtime so far on this for me, this video here, is 9 minutes and 47 seconds. I just finished the scenario 15 minutes ago, and the reason I'm doing it again is not because I lost, because I actually won. It's the 3rd time I played through the scenario, and I won. However, upon celebrating and reading the end text of the card, I looked over here at my monitor for the top camera and realized I was not recording on that camera the entire time. I was only recording on this camera the entire time, and the look on my face was precious, and you guys will never see it, even though it is caught on camera. Suffice it to say, I was a little miffed, so if I seem like I'm a little bit impatient and a little bit miffed right now, that is why. It is not because of the game. It's more because I was mad at myself over the fact that I basically ruined an entire good playthrough of the game. I was hitting a lot of good modifiers. Even on my plus here, I was able to hit the 2 times modifier and one shot one of the bandit guards, I was riding on high to just crash so far down. So again, the anger that I felt was not at all toward the game, because one of the things I said at the end of the last video, I believe, and I'm going to say it now, is that one of the things I do like about this game is that I have lost quite a few of the scenarios a few times while doing like practice runs before I film. But every time I lose, it's just me now trying to figure out what is the best way, having actually fun with the puzzle of, okay, what do I do now to actually win this? And it is, like I said, that's what I like about this game. I'm not like upset over the fact that the game itself is just unfair. I'm actually enjoying the experience of the game. It makes me want to jump into Jaws of the Lion or regular Gloomhaven or Frosthaven if it'll ever get here, all the more. So we are going to go ahead and plan out the first move of the game, which for me is going to be a combination of trample and shield bash. We're going to actually use the bottom part of trample, which is going to give me the 4 movement jump and the 2 damage attack to all enemies move through with this ability. I'm actually going to jump over the obstacles here and move through the green archer on the bottom and try to land over here somewhere, so that way I can then, after attacking him with the bottom part of trample, hit him with the top part of shield bash and also get a defense for when all the other enemies slowly start to grab me. And this will set me up for round 2, when I can actually hopefully push some of the enemies into some of these hazards that are all over the board. That is basically going to be my play there. So I'm going to go on initiative 15. So regardless, I'm going to go first, but we're going to go ahead now and see where the bandit archers are going to go in order. So they're at a negative, so they are at 16. So the bandit archers are going to go before the bandit guards. So we'll see how that kind of works out. On my last playthrough, the guards went first and kind of went through this went through this pathway here, and we're able to move around. So the bandit archers going first may put a little bit of damper on my plan, but we'll see how that goes. Bandit guard, though, that went over there, and I don't count it if it's not in the dice tray. The bandit guard, can't see it with my angle, is also a negative, so they're going to go at initiative 30. I'm going at initiative 15, so I'm ahead of everybody. That is good. So let's go ahead and get this going with my trample. 1, 2, 3. Is that where I wanted to land? Yes, that is where I want to land, right there in that spot. So I'm going to get a +2 attack, or a 2 damage attack for moving through him, if I'm reading that card ability right. And that's going to give me a neutral. Move your cube, Eric. It's going to give me a neutral, so that is going to be no additional damage. So that's 1 green. That is going to be down to 2. Down to 5. So -2. So trample goes down to its B side. Next, I'm going to do shield bash to the same character. So let's go ahead and roll that. Also a neutral, so that's going to be no additional points. It's going to be 3 damage to them. That's going to bring me down to 2 on character 1, and I also then get a defense, so that's why I'm going to put that right there for right now, and that is going to be my turn. Next, we are going to have, let's see, next we are going to have the first bandit archer, green, is going to attack me. They're just going to attack me for 2, so let's go ahead and see what their attack does. They had a plus, so they're going to hit me for 3, actually, bring me down to 10. That is fine by me. Move their cube down. And then the other archer is not going to go. They're going to go, but they're just going to move. The problem is they're going to move here to go 1, 2. They're still not going to be able to hit me. The problem then is that they're actually going to block because of how movement works. The way I've been playing it and all the other scenarios I've done is that they're essentially not going to move as long as they're within range of me. So red's going to be basically bottlenecked into that. That's the word I was trying to find earlier, bottleneck. Red's going to be stuck on this one side until I can get through the archer. So we'll see how that actually goes. I do have a ranged ability, so I can throw the spare dagger at Red when I get to him, and he's a guard, so I can at least start hitting him from range if I need to. But yeah, that's going to be that. So let us move. We're going to go ahead and get Red moved. He's going to go here because he's not going to want to go through that. I know it's like the shortest distance, but the way I've been playing it is that why would you move and get yourself a damage and immobilize yourself in that spot just to try to attack? That I wouldn't do that. I would have him go around. Maybe, I don't know, we'll move him there, and I might see later if he would be that stupid. He's going to go there because we're just going to get him out of the way, but purple is going to move two, so they're going to move 1, 2, and place themselves right there. Now, again, if I had trample, that would be a cool thing to hit both purple and green at the same time, but I don't need trample at this point. But what we're going to do with the bandit guard is we're going to see if he's going to be able to hit me, because he does only have 1 damage, and I do have a shield, so he's not even going to be able to hit me unless he rolls a plus. He does have the capacity for a +2, and he has that +2. Darn. So that's going to be 1 + 2. He doesn't have a pierce, so he's not going to get through my shield. So that's going to bring him. That's going to bring me down to 8. So I'm going to be really mad if I lose this one after having just 1-1. So so there is going to be that. They move down a cube. And then, yeah, so that's going to be that right there. So this round is over. Shield Bash flips over to Skewer. But I think we're good. So I think I got my strategy down in my head. So it's basically kind of following the way I did it before. So what are we going to do now? So we are going to use Warding Strength, which is a 32, and Spare Dagger, which is 27. We're going to use Spare Dagger, the bottom part, with the Pierce, but not on purple. We're going to be using that on green Archer, so that way we can just hopefully take out the last 2 health that they have. Warding Strength is going to be used to push the purple guard up into this hazard because it's a push 2. They'll be able to get there, and that will also give us, for the next round, it'll give us our strengthen, so we can get advantage on round 3. So we're going to go at initiative 27, so we need to figure out the initiative of the archer. I'm really hoping that I can get them to 31. That way I can go first. And then with 27, we're going to go before the bandit guard. It's just whether or not the bandit guard goes before or after the archers. So there's that. So let's go see what the archers' initiative is. Plus, so they're initiative 64. And so where I'm at, they're not going to be able to move, so the archer won't be able to hit me, and hopefully we do this right. I kill the other archer. The other one's going to be, the guard's going to be mobilized, but let's not get ahead of ourselves this time. Again, I know I'm rushing, I feel like I'm rushing through and through that because I already played this, and recording time, it is late for me. Let's just put it that way. Bandit guard is going to get initiative. They're going to stay at initiative 30, so they're going to go first again. So there is that. I'm also realizing now that, well, they haven't moved. Yeah, never mind. I'm thinking of something else. All right, so let's go ahead and do our turn. So I'm going to go first. So basically, I want to get because I don't want to waste it necessarily. Like if I don't kill green, I don't kill green. And I'm also going to get Pierce over here when I do the Warding Strength against purple. So I want to utilize that in case I low roll negative or neutral. I want to use those Pierce abilities to get the most out of this Warding Strength ability. So we're going to do that first, which is going to give me 3 damage and a push of 2, which is going to put purple in the hazard. So the modifier is going to give me negative. That's what happened last time. Negative, so it's going to do only 2 damage, but I get pierced, so I get pierced from this, so I get the full 2 damage, that I did. So, and they're going to move 1, 2. So purple is going to go down to 3 because they are hitting that trap, which brings them down to 5. That is fine, and I get my strength token. So there's that. The strength token will be nice because that means on Spare Dagger, when I do the 2 damage, I will hopefully, and I gotta move the cube, Eric, I hopefully won't get the -2. I will either get the neutral or yeah, either get the neutral or the +1. So let's go ahead and do that attack. And I can't see it. That is a plus. So +1 with the 2. Technically pierce, but that doesn't matter. So that is, we're going to move the cube. You're going to be 3 damage on a 2 damage character. They are down to 0. Green is gone. Spare Dagger goes down to Overwhelming Assault. So that is going to be that for that turn for me. With that said, Bandit Archer can't fire at me because they are 1, 2, 3. They're just out of range for me. Red is stuck where he's at. Guard, purple is immobilized. They can't move. So that's going to be the end of the round there. Yeah, that's going to be the end of the round. I don't have another jump ability. I need to move, so I have to either use Overwhelming Assault to move over to purple. And what's probably going to happen is I'm going to move over there with purple, and I have to do... now Bruiser's... that strength's gone because that was the next round. I think what I'm going to do is we're going to use Overwhelming Assault for the movement, not for the 6 damage. But that's going to give me a +1 to all my attacks this round. Then I'm going to use Unstoppable Charge to do 4 damage and hope to roll high and not roll that neutral, so that way I can do 5 damage to take out purple. That's what the hope is going to be right here. With that said, my lowest initiative I can do is 61. So I got to hope that I roll a plus for Blue Archer here, or I gotta hope that Blue Archer... no, I need a plus because I need them to stay where they're at also. Would I be moving... I either need a plus or a minus because either they're not going to be in a way to shoot me right now, but I'm going to move into their range, or even if they move on a 16 or on the minus, they'll be out of range still. So even if I move up, so let's go ahead and roll the Archer's initiative. It's neutral, so they're going to get 3 attack, but it's only going to be 2, which is fine. And then the Bandit Guards are both going to be at a plus, so they're at 70. It's still not going to matter much because I'm going to move up to the Bandit Guard here in a minute, and the other one's trapped behind a bunch of crap. So, yeah, there's that. So this is going a little weirder. Again, I guess I could have moved him into that trap. I just didn't. It didn't seem like, why would you move into the trap? That's why would you take damage and be immobilized? Why would you do that to yourself? That's how I think about that. That's how I think. That's how it was when I was Dungeon Master. It used to be how I would also do that. So I wouldn't move intentionally into traps unless there was just no other way to do something. But anyway, yeah, whatever. So the Archer's gonna go. The Archer's gonna move 1 here. And now it puts me in range 3, 1, 2, 3. So I'm in range 3, so they're going to hit me with 2. So their 2 is hopefully going to get negated here. So let's go and roll. And that is a negative, so it did get negated. So I don't take any damage from the Archer, which is great. I'm going to move... let's see. I go next because that was on a 31. I'm going on a 61. I'm going to go with Overwhelming Assault. Place that there, but we're going to use the movement. So we're going to go 1, 2. I'm going there so that way I don't have to move toward the Archer on the next turn and use up a move, because I'm also not going to have a move. I'm going to be basically healing and hitting the archer with Skewer on my turn. But now I am going to go. They had to move one. Eric, why do you always forget about that? Unstoppable charge. I don't know why I keep calling it unstable charge. Unstoppable charge. I need to basically not roll a negative. And because I've got Pierce going on over there, I am going to go ahead and use the cube and use up my earth element to use Rose Thorn Knife so I can get the Pierce with that. So we're going to hope to not get a negative modifier here. So let's go ahead and do that. So neutral is what we're going to go with right there. So it's going to be a +1, 4, and I get a Pierce. So that goes to the shield. So purple is dead. So we're going to take him off the board. Takes everything off of that trap. So that is where we're at with that. The other guard, dang, he is going to... He's got 2 movement. So I did pause the video to double check. Apparently in the Learn to Play book, it doesn't mention anything when it comes to the monster movement about moving through allies. I think it's because in the tutorial, you don't really have the point where the 2 bandits are fighting or anywhere near each other. However, when I went through on my phone, the actual rules document does in there mention monster movement. So I should have probably at some point, I probably had a point where I could have moved the bandit guard away from there. It does also say in the Learn to Play book though that the guard would never have moved into the hazard. It wants you to pick the shortest path without running into a hazard. So I was playing that correctly, and more than likely editing Eric will throw in some kind of a note onto the video earlier to say that, but I'm just going to say that at this point in case someone didn't read the note and didn't notice that I caught myself afterward. Any future video I will remember those rules, but I'm going to continue to play this because I don't want to basically waste this playthrough of the game, and there is that. I'm also, though, I do want to move that cube because I never did move it after my last attack, so we're going to go ahead. I'm going to move red over 1 right there. So that is where he's going to sit with his 2 movement, not hitting anybody. If he goes first on the next round, it will probably be to going past the archer regardless. So there's that. So the bandit guard does trigger the end of the round. So let's go ahead and figure out what I'm doing for the next part of it. Skewer and Wall of Doom are going to be what I play next. So I am going to go on initiative 20 with Wall of Doom. Let's go ahead and see where the bandit archer is going to go. Bandit archer is on +64, so they're going to hit me with 3. But the other thing I did stumble upon is that with me standing next to the bandit archer, they are going to get disadvantage, which I again did not give myself earlier or give them earlier when they were doing their range attack, which is fine. So hopefully I can... Oh, I'm not going to murder death kill them on this turn. But what this hopefully means as well... Not hopefully, but I don't know what I'm even trying to say at any point. I'm recording this well after midnight. Let's go ahead. Bandit guard is going to be on initiative neutral. So they're going to go initiative 50. So the bandit guard is going to go before the bandit archer, which means they're going to get in position outside of the bandit archer to try to hit me, which... I deserve at this point. So I'm going to use my Wall of Doom first. We're going to give myself a heal, and we're going to put me at 11 from the 8 that I had showing on my dial. And I wish this specific dial moved better. This is the health dial, and for me, and it does not move very well. I'll probably, for the next rounds, I'll probably find something nondescript to use as damage counters for myself. It'll probably help me realize how much health I do or do not have, but we'll see about that. So that's going to be that. It's also going to give me +2 to all of my attacks this round. So I will have that +2. I don't know why I had that there. Oh, from the green. Let's see. So we are going to do Skewer without the bonus damage from the Skewer ability because I don't have a wind element to use. But I am going to use a +2 from attacks this round, so I can hopefully do 5. I can see if I can do double damage. That would be awesome. If not, I'll get 6. If not, I'll get 4. We'll see how that rolls out. So let's go ahead and roll for my modifier. Negative. So I'm only going to do 4 damage to them. Yep, 4 damage. That's going to bring me down to 3 damage right there. Or 3 health. That's I did 3 health to them. They are down to 3 health after I did 4 damage. That's what I'm trying to say. Again, it's late. So we're going to be done with both of these cards. The round's not over yet because everyone else still has to go. Bandit Guard is going to go 1, 2. They're going to go through their ally over to this side so that now they can finally get to me and hit me for 2 damage, bringing me down to 9. Oh my gosh. This is, yeah, there it goes. Bringing me down to 9. So there's that. I didn't even roll for that though. 2 damage plus another 1. So that's going to get me down to 8. So I basically lost the health I just got. And then you move down to that. So I have 8 health that I can't do anything with because that's there. Then the Bandit Archer at disadvantage because I'm next to it is neutral and plus. We're going to go with the neutral. Definitely not on that 2 times. We're going to do that neutral with 0. I will gladly take the 3 damage. Bring me down to 5. So that's going to bring them down to there. I went here, so that's going to bring me back to the top of that. And now the end of the round has happened, and we're going to shuffle my cards as I do my short rest, and we're going to burn one of them and send it into the Shadow Realm or the Lost section right there. This one. Aw, skewer. That was bummer. I was going to throw it, but we're going to put it right there. So we're going to go ahead and boom, boom, boom. So we are going to have Trample. Trample does have Pierce. Sure, that would be what we so let's do this scientifically. So Trample and Spare Dagger are going to be our obvious plays because I can. I'm going to basically do a 4 damage AoE with Trample. That's going to ignore Pierce. Even if I go after either one of them first, my modifiers for the first 2 lines are going to give me either -1, 0, or positive. So I'm going to do either 3 to 5 damage here. And then, because I want to get Trample done as fast as out as fast as possible, so the next round, hopefully I kill whoever I need to kill. But then I also will be able to heal on the next round. Again, hopefully I'll be able to take out the Bandit Archer. Math indicates that I should be able to take out the Bandit Archer on this turn. So we're going to go on initiative 27. The Bandit Archer is going to go on. Initiative 16. So they're going to do some damage to me, unfortunately. Hopefully I can survive it. And then the Bandit Guard is going to go at initiative 30. I'm at initiative 27, so I will go before the Guard. I'm still going to do this as the play right now. Yeah, that's what we're going to do for the play. So, let's see. Let's go ahead and get the Archer out of the way. Let's see how much the Archer is going to do. I definitely want to do a negative number here, but that's probably not going to happen. I'm probably going to get the positive and take the 3 damage. The Guard's only going to do 1 damage to me, so that might be fine. Let's go ahead and negative. So they did get a negative, so they did -2 plus 2. They hit me for 0. Whew, Archer, and let's go at disadvantage. I didn't make it onto the thing. Yeah, the disadvantage, that would have been positive. That would have hurt. But they got disadvantage, so they get to the lower result. So they did nothing to me. Great. Now I go. We're going to do Trample. So I'm going to do an attack for each one of them. So the first attack on Trample here, we're going to go with Archer first, is going to be negative. So 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. Per blue is going to be gone. The Bandit Archer is now out of my life over there. So Bandit Archer is gone. I'm going to do another trample attack with that there. That is going to be neutral, which is going to give me 0. We're going to move that one down. And so that's going to do 4 damage. Bringing them down to 4. So trample is done. And this had Pierce 2 on it, so that's why I'm not counting the shield there. I'm really hoping I was counting the shield beforehand. I'm pretty sure I was on different things, but who knows? It's late. Now, next, we're going to go ahead and go with Spare Dagger. If I can roll a plus, which unfortunately I don't have, whatever, but if I can roll a plus, I already got Pierce 1. I'm going to have another Pierce if I do neutral or minus, and I think last time I rolled a minus on this one, which stunk, but if I get a plus here, the game will be over. Minus again. So we're going to do, yeah, that's 2 minus, that's 3. That's only 3 damage. So, let's see. I don't know why I put that there. Gosh. Because I did that, and it should have gone down to B side. So this is going to also go down to B side. Ugh, what a day. Alright, so, yeah. So, Bandit Guard's going to go now. That moves down 1. Bandit Guard, ooh, where did I go? Right there. Bandit Guard's going to go, and, yeah, they got a -2 last time, so they should have moved up there. Alright, Bandit Guard's going to go with his 1 damage attack, and I don't have any shields on me. They got a negative with a negative modifier. They still did not hit me, so that's pure luck. Alright, do I drag this out, or do I just use Overwhelming Assault? I think because we're at the end of the game, I am just going to go with Initiative 20 on Wall of Doom. I'm going to go first, because the lowest initiative he has is 30. We're going to go with Overwhelming Assault, and if I heal first, I get +2. Even if I get -2 over there, I'm still going to overhit the 3, so we're just going to basically do things for order operations. So Bandit Guard is going to be at a plus on 70 for initiative. I am going to heal for 3 to give me 8. With my move, I'm going to give myself 2 damage to all my attacks this round. The attack I'm going to go with is Overwhelming Assault, which is going to be 6. Let's go ahead and see what the damage is going to be on that. -2, but I do get, I don't even know where the thing is for it anymore, but I do get advantage through the next round. So -2 minus 8 is back down to the initial 6, which is going to be more than 3, which is going to bring me to another 0, which is going to take out the Bandit Guard, which, ooh, that's a spoiler. So the Bandit Guard is taken out, and for the second time in a row, first time on camera properly, we have beaten scenario 4 of Buttons and Bugs. I am excited for that. That was awesome. So I think that was actually my 4th attempt, 2nd actual win on it. So I am happy for that. Get out of there, red cube. All right. So with the scenario over, we will now take a look at the bottom part of the card. You feel quite satisfied with your efforts. You're darn right I do, because I had to do that twice. I'm looking over here, make sure the camera's still rolling, that camera's still rolling. I just want to make sure every camera is on. Past the doors, a crowd is gathered to investigate the commotion. At the front is a very large imp carried on a button throne by 4 minions. When you think about it, the imp must not have been shrunk like the rest of you, which would actually make him very small. Capture the intruders. Capture the intruders. Capture the intruders, King Button roars. Let's have some fun in the arena. So play scenario 5 buttons arena. I believe from the way that was described, I'm assuming this is what they just described. Is that going to zoom in? Yeah, that's what they just described on the cover. So there is that right there. So basically the story so far is we get shrunk, fight some bandits, beat the collector, fight some more bandits, tells us to go through a crack in the wall. We went through the front gate. We see the dude straight off, and that is going to be that. With that said, we do get 2 new weapons. We've got the Tangerine Whip during your attack. I can add a Immobilize when I hit somebody. That's a one-handed weapon, so I could always throw that in my other hand. It does also, for me, use either the Earth element or whatever this yellow element is. With the lighting in here, I can't see what it is. The other side of it is a two-handed weapon that's Iron Nail. During your turn, add Pierce 2 to all of your melee attacks, and that is a one-time use item. So there is that. So the next time that we play this, again, comment down below about the thing with scenario 3, but which class I should play scenario 3 with. But with that said, the next video is going to either be scenario 3 with a different level 2 character, or it's going to be scenario 5 with the Bruiser. I don't know which order those are going to go out in. I just, because I don't know, I haven't filmed it yet. So that is going to be one of those 2 videos. It's what's going to be next here on the channel. So I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in and sticking with us during this playthrough. Again, if I seemed a little irked, it was not anything having to do with the game. It was completely with my own boneheadedness with the with my setup and the fact that I forgot to push a button. So just being as transparent as I can with that. And if you want to know when we're going to be doing more videos in this series, please go ahead and hit the notification bell so you know when those are coming out, or so you can see when those have come out. Go ahead and hit the like button if you did enjoy this playthrough or any of the other playthroughs, and hit the subscribe button to be subscribed to the channel and help the channel grow. As always, I have been Eric. This has been Rockshire Gaming. I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.